Welcome to Acts of Kindness Stories. The steady hum of announcements and the rush of travelers at the bustling international terminal were suddenly interrupted by an urgent, piercing bark. In that charged moment, Rex, a keenly trained German shepherd, transformed from a calm companion into a vigilant guardian. His sharp bark cut through the ambient noise, drawing the immediate attention of Officer Rebecca Turner, a dedicated security professional with years of experience and a personal drive to protect those who cannot defend themselves. Rebecca's eyes narrowed as she noted a well-dressed couple standing a few dozen feet away. The man, with an anxious grip on something hidden beneath his tailored jacket, and the woman, whose furtive glances toward the exit betrayed their unease, sparked an instinctive alarm. But it was the small child with pale, almost otherworldly features, standing unnaturally still at the couple's side, that sent a chill down her spine. Every detail, the child's unresponsive posture, the absence of the tender care a parent would naturally provide, spoke volumes to Rebecca's trained eye. In that heartbeat, the atmosphere shifted from routine to a scene fraught with unspoken danger. As passengers instinctively created space around them, Rebecca moved closer. Rex, still on high alert, paced steadily beside her, every muscle poised in readiness. She knew this wasn't just a case of a worried parent or a simple misunderstanding. Her experience had taught her to recognize the silent signals of a deeper, darker scheme at play, a scheme that preyed on the vulnerable. Without hesitation, Rebecca introduced herself and calmly addressed the couple. Her measured tone belied the urgency of the situation, as she requested their documents and inquired about the child's condition. Each response only deepened her suspicions. There was something profoundly wrong here, something that went beyond a momentary lapse in parental care. In that instant, her lifelong commitment to justice and protection surged to the forefront, fueled by a desire to rescue innocence from the clutches of exploitation. This is just the beginning of a story where a loyal service dog and a brave officer stand together against overwhelming odds, determined to protect the helpless and reveal the truth. Stay with us as we follow their courageous journey, one that transforms a single alert bark into a mission that saves lives and restores hope. Officer Rebecca Turner's mind raced as she stepped forward into the controlled chaos of JFK's terminal. The couple stood unervingly still, their eyes darting between exit doors and each other, while a young child at their side displayed a pallor and stillness that defied natural behavior. The child's features were striking yet unsettling, almost as if innocence had been replaced by a haunting emptiness. Rebecca's every instinct, honed by years on the job and a personal past marred by loss, screamed that this was no ordinary situation. Rex, her steadfast German shepherd, maintained an unwavering vigil by her side, his eyes never leaving the child as if urging her to uncover the hidden truth. Rebecca's approach was methodical and resolute. With a calm but firm tone, she identified herself and requested the couple's identification and any medical records they claimed to have on the child. Their responses, measured yet laced with anxious hesitation, deepened her suspicions. The man's grip tightened on his belongings while the woman's eyes flitted nervously. It was clear they were not the caring parents they pretended to be. Instead, their body language told a story of coercion and desperation. In that critical moment, every detail mattered. A subtle shift in posture, a fleeting glance, the silent, almost mechanical way the child clung to the adult's shoulder. Without warning, the fragile facade began to crumble. As passengers instinctively backed away, creating an impromptu circle around the scene, tension escalated into chaos. The man's tone hardened when questioned further, and it wasn't long before an altercation erupted. In a heartbeat, the couple attempted a desperate escape. The man, burdened by fear and something far more sinister, shoved the woman aside and bolted with the child clutched tightly in his arms. Rex lunged instinctively, only to be held back by Rebecca's quick command, a moment that underscored her control even as danger lurked in every gesture. The scene transformed in an instant. Amid scattered luggage and startled shouts, Rebecca chased after the fleeing suspect through the crowded terminal. Every step echoed her resolve not only to catch a criminal but to rescue a vulnerable life from a fate worse than abandonment. The relentless pursuit led them to the airport's parking garage, where time seemed to stretch and every second counted. In a daring move, Rebecca tackled the suspect, absorbing the impact as she wrestled him down to secure the child, whose condition was growing increasingly dire. Blood trickled from a split lip on the suspect's face, a silent testament to the violent struggle that had just unfolded. As backup security converged, Rebecca's attention shifted to the child's pallid skin and labored breathing. The child, barely responsive and clearly under the influence of something dangerous, required immediate medical attention. Amid the chaos, an unsettling realization took hold. The child's documentation was suspect. The passports, while appearing professional at first glance, held a subtle yet undeniable flaw, a watermark that failed to refract light properly. Every anomaly, every inconsistency in the documents, painted a grim picture of deception and exploitation. The investigation quickly unraveled layers of a sinister trafficking network operating in the shadows of legitimate travel. Behind the polished exterior of the airport lay a labyrinth of deceit where human trafficking was not merely an opportunistic crime but a well-oiled operation with far-reaching tentacles. Rebecca recalled years of watching patterns. Passengers with rehearsed stories, children with strange, detached expressions, and adults whose nervous tics betrayed deeper secrets. Now, every clue pointed to a system that preyed upon the most vulnerable members of society. Determined to bring justice and rescue those ensnared in this nefarious web, Rebecca began coordinating with a small, trusted team. In hushed conversations over radio channels and discreet signals exchanged with fellow officers, she pieced together evidence that pointed to a larger, systemic conspiracy. The operation was sophisticated and organized, with forged documents, meticulously planned flight schedules, and a network of corrupted officials who turned a blind eye. It was a battle not just against individual criminals, but against an entire system designed to hide its atrocities beneath layers of bureaucracy and deceit. In a dimly lit conference room later that evening, Rebecca pored over the collected evidence. Photographs, scanned documents, and eyewitness statements painted a disturbing mosaic of abuse and exploitation. The suspect's account of couriers and delivery schedules only further underscored the chilling reality. Innocent children were being used as pawns in a dangerous game, their identities stripped away and replaced with fabricated histories to facilitate their illicit trade. The evidence was overwhelming, each piece a testament to the calculated cruelty of those at the helm of the operation. As the investigation deepened, Rebecca found herself grappling with the personal weight of the case. Memories of her own past, the disappearance of a loved one, the countless faces of sorrow etched into the annals of her career, merged with her unwavering resolve to protect the innocent. Every piece of evidence collected was not just a bureaucratic formality. It was a lifeline thrown to those drowning in a tide of exploitation. The urgency of her mission was underscored by the rapid mobilization of federal authorities, who began coordinated raids on facilities spanning multiple states. Each breakthrough was a small victory against a vast and insidious enemy. In one particularly tense moment, as officers prepared to execute a raid on a suspected trafficking warehouse, Rebecca's inner voice urged her to hold on to hope. The stakes were unimaginably high, and the lives of countless children hung in the balance. With Rex by her side, a silent guardian whose keen senses had alerted her to danger in countless past encounters, she led the charge into the dark corridors of the operations lair. The warehouse, though outwardly abandoned, concealed within its walls a hive of activity. Cramped holding areas, makeshift medical stations, and cold metallic cages where frightened children waited for a rescue that had to come soon. Inside that grim facility, every whispered conversation, every hurried shuffle of documents, and every frightened glance told a story of systematic abuse. Rebecca moved with a careful precision, gathering every scrap of evidence while ensuring that the vulnerable were not further endangered. The emotional weight of each discovery, the identities of the trafficked children, the financial ledgers that quantified their suffering, and the faces of those forced into silence, reinforced her commitment to expose the truth and dismantle the operation once and for all. The narrative unfolding before her was as complex as it was harrowing. It was a tale of betrayal and corruption, but also one of relentless courage and resilience. Each step, each calculated risk taken in the pursuit of justice, was a testament to the belief that no one, especially not a child, should be reduced to a commodity. Rebecca's actions, driven by a deep-seated sense of duty and compassion, served as a beacon of hope in a world where darkness had too long reigned unchecked. Throughout the ordeal, the unwavering support of her team and the bond with her loyal service dog reminded her that even in the bleakest moments, solidarity and determination could light the way forward. The rescue operation was not merely about intercepting a fleeing suspect or seizing forged documents. It was about reclaiming stolen lives and restoring dignity to those who had been systematically dehumanized. In that turbulent night at JFK, as the threads of a vast trafficking network began to unravel, Rebecca Turner stood as a guardian against the tide of corruption. The evidence she gathered would soon empower authorities to take decisive action, safeguarding the lives of countless children and sending a powerful message that exploitation would not go unchallenged. Her journey was far from over, but every courageous step taken in that moment paved the way for a future where kindness and justice could prevail. As the dust settles on this harrowing journey, hope and resilience emerge from the ruins. Officer Rebecca Turner's unwavering courage and the devoted loyalty of Rex have redefined what it means to protect the vulnerable. In the aftermath of the rescue, lives once shadowed by exploitation begin to heal and families rebuild with newfound strength. Every act of compassion and determination has helped dismantle dark systems and restore dignity to those who suffered in silence. This story is a testament to how collective kindness can spark transformation even in the bleakest moments, lighting the way toward justice and a safer tomorrow. If you feel inspired by this powerful testament to bravery and hope, please like, share, and comment below. Subscribe to Acts of Kindness Stories as we work to reach 10,000 subscribers, uniting our voices for change and ensuring every act of kindness creates a lasting ripple of transformation.